Hello everybody, welcome back to the Josh YouTube channel. As you can obviously see, it's not Josh that is doing the predictions today. He is a little bit unwell, so obviously get well soon, Josh. So Josh has kindly asked me to do this episode for him today. And as always, I am joined by my good friend, Reece Russell. How you doing, Reece?
Yeah, I'm all right, thanks, mate. As you already know, I am using a smile to mask it, but I'm also not feeling well. But that's not going to stop me talking about football, but I'll just take it slow today rather than my usual energetic, electrifying pace. I'll take it slower today. Thank you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I think it's this weather that's actually. I've just been out. I've just been out with the dog, and I'm actually feeling quite warm today as well. So
Yeah, I've had my window open all day, and it's definitely mugged. I hate this crap.
But international break is finally over, and now we can look ahead to the Premier League action with the first game. Let me just put this ticker off for you. My thing is just completely frozen. There we go. There we go. Crystal Palace against Tottenham. Now, last 5 meetings, 3 wins to Spurs, 2 draws in the last 5 meetings. The last meeting was a 1-1 draw. But I look at this game and I'm thinking international break can either derail a team or it can spur on a team.
Mm-hmm.
How are you? What do you think will happen in this game?
Well, you've pretty much nailed it on the head for me. Derail or have an effect, and it's why I've actually gone for a Palace win. Obviously, I do predictions with your channel every week, and I've actually gone Palace to win 1-0. And the reason I think that is I think Spurs have went into the international break flying, top of the league, rightfully so. They started off really well, the right results, the win against Man City for them opening day of the season, which I also think was going to happen. I was confident Spurs were going to beat Man City just because Spurs just cannot seem to lose against City in London, which gives them confidence. Obviously, eventually that duck will end. But I just think the way Palace started the season, they didn't start great, but they also caught West Ham by surprise, who have also started the league in brilliant fashion. And I think they could do it again. So, yeah, and I'm also going to say as well, like with Spurs losing, with 4 players, obviously behaviour, 2 players out of 4, behaviour-wise, in the Argentina-Brazil game. And obviously they've lost Lucas Moura due to Brazilian players. They've now been called, but I'm sure Lucas Moura's been rolled out as well. That's another important member to the Nuno's team. I think it's going to derail because bonus for Palace is Palace don't have any of these players. Like, they don't have any Brazilians in their squad, so they have no fear. The only thing is just a couple of injury concerns, but I think they'll catch them out. So yeah, I'm going to go Palace to sneak it 1-0.
And believe it or not, that's exactly what I've gone for as well. I just think the Odsonne Edouard effect might come into play, and I think he might score on his debut.
I think he's going to score a free kick. I just got a funny feeling he'll score a set. I think he'll score a set piece because you know what he was like at Celtic. If he had an opportunity, he would take one, and I wouldn't be surprised. I think it'll either be that or some, like, maybe a header, but who knows? Like, he might start with a bang and score one of them. It's going to be interesting. But I agree. I think Edouard's going to have an effect.
Yeah, absolutely. So we both think it will be a Crystal Palace win ahead of that one. Now to 2 teams who, let's be honest, are not in the best of form. It is bottom of the table Arsenal, I can't believe I'm saying that, versus 19th place Norwich City. How do you see that one going?
Odds on, you would say Arsenal to win. Odds on, I think you would, just because of sheer depth and quality in their team compared to Norwich. But I just look at Arsenal and they've only won their behind closed door games. They've won the game in the cup, but in the league, I don't know what it is. Like, Arteta's getting the games away from the league spot on, but in the league he's getting it completely wrong. And I don't know what it is going through his head. Is he trying to chop and change? Is he trying to be clever? Well, too clever, and he's getting it wrong. But I just think this is a game they should be winning. I still don't think they will. I've actually gone for Norwich to win this game 2-1. I think Norwich are going to get this. I think Norwich are going to get this result, and I think that's going to be it for them for the rest of the season in terms of big results. I don't think they're going to get any major ones. unless they knock off a win against a relegation rival. But there's just something about Arsenal at the minute. I think Arsenal are going to struggle in this game. I don't know about next week. They play Burnley, I believe, before they play Spurs. And I'm just looking at their upcoming games, and I'm thinking Arsenal really need to turn things around. I'd be surprised if they do. So yeah, I'm going to go Norwich 2, Arsenal 1.
Very interesting. I've gone Arsenal because Arsenal have not lost in the last 5 meetings between Norwich. It's 3 wins to Arsenal and 2 draws. In fact, they beat Norwich 4-0 the last time as well. So I fully expect Arsenal to come back and win this one. I've actually given them a clean sheet, which is quite a rarity as well. So could be interesting. But for me, I just think Arsenal will be too strong for Norwich. I like the way Norwich played against Leicester City. I thought they were very, very good, very compact, unlucky to lose as well. And you could argue that the goal that was ruled out by VAR, I think that's very minimal contact on Schmeichel.
I agree, very minimal. And in all fairness, I wouldn't have ruled it out. I would have actually given the goal. Personally, I would have given it. But I suppose they're trying to be... I think they're trying to be more fairer to the goalkeeper in terms of minimal contact, but they're basically trying to cut out contact. They're trying to turn football, I think, I don't know if you agree or not, but it looks like they're trying to turn minimal contact into no contact. They're trying to make us turn into basketball. They're trying to convert football into basketball by ruling out any contact, but you physically can't, because contact is, in football, it's always been around.
Yeah, absolutely. To two sides who have actually had a decent start to the season. We have Brentford and Brighton. One of these sides have got 6 points from their first 2 games, and one team has got 5 points from their first 3 games. I have to say, I was looking at the stats before I was coming on, and it's 2 wins to Brentford, 2 draws and 1 win to Brighton. Obviously, this would have been in the Championship. I don't think it's going to be this scoreline, but the last meeting was a 3-3 draw. 3-3 draw. But I have to say, I've been very impressed with Brentford. I think they've taken to the Premier League like a duck to water.
I think when we started our World of Football podcast predictions, in terms of the season, I had Brentford to finish, I think, 11th in the league. I think it was that, because I just love the way they play football, and the smart signings, the manager, he gets it right. He's a clear advocate of his own nation. I'm pretty sure he's a Danish manager. He's brought in some Danish players to suit his style, which I think is a very smart move, similar to Wolves, taking advantage of the Portuguese market. I just think Brentford are actually being more expansive with their ideas, and it's giving them something to go on. I've gone Brentford to get a clean sheet in this one and a result. I've gone Brentford to win 2-0 against Brighton. I think Tony and Mbeumo are going to have a big effect. That Onyeka as well surprised me with what he's done in the league so far. I thought he would adjust slightly a little bit more, but he's done really well, and I just like what I'm seeing from Brentford. And it's nothing against Brighton. I think they're a good side. It's just they don't have a number 9 for me that actually does the job, and that hinders their team for me. So yeah, I'm going to go clean sheet. Brentford win 2-0.
I agree. I think Brentford will win this one by 1-0. Give me 2 ticks. I've just seen the doors just going, so give me 2 ticks.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course.
There we go. Thank God for editing, eh?
Very true. Very true.
Thank God for editing. Now to 2 teams. Well, I have to say, last season, Leicester beat Man City by 5-2 at the Etihad, but Man City went and won at the King Power. In fact, it's 4 wins to City, 1 win to Leicester in the last 5 meetings. However, Leicester won against them in the Community Shield as well. And with obviously a lot of things about Man City, obviously they might be without Jesus, Ederson, and apparently Zach Steffen as well. So we could see 39-year-old Scott Carson in the Manchester City goal. How do you see this one going?
I have Leicester to win this 2-1, but I think about it and I'm like, even though I've gone 2-1, I wouldn't be surprised if City still won this game purely because of the unpredictability of they don't have Jesus, they don't have Ederson, they may not have Stefan, but Carson could be an unpredictable factor in this team because no one's seen him play in the Premier League for quite some time. And that's a bit of a funny one. Like, he hasn't played in the Premier League for quite a while. I can't remember the last game he played in the Premier League. It's been that long. I think
Newcastle United away, I think. Finished 4-3 to City.
Yeah, and that says it all, really. Like, he will concede. And I'm thinking, if I was Leicester, with the players they've got, the experienced players, a little bit the younger, like less experienced players as well, but they'll be itching to get at this City team. And I'm thinking, that's why I've favoured Leicester. Because I'm thinking Jamie Vardy will like the fact that it's not Ederson. He'll like the fact it's not Stefan. He'll like the fact it's a player who is like slightly older than him, doesn't have the agility or the speed to keep up with him in terms of his shots going at them. I'm thinking that's going to be a big factor. And I think if he does play, it might be him, it might be Daka, we don't know. But if it's in Yacho, he'll be thirsty for a goal as well. Another one. Obviously, he scored the only goal in the Community Shield, which you've mentioned that adequately so. Like, Leicester won that game. I'm thinking, Leicester, I think, will be probably for the first time in terms of a league game. Because also the 5-3 was crazy, which we probably won't see again. Because the fact that they've beaten both Manchester clubs 5-3 within a couple of years apart is quite crap, especially from a Man United perspective. But there's just something about this Leicester team. It's hard to pinpoint. About them. It's weird, and that's why I've favoured them. I think they'll like. I think they'll like the underdog status, especially because they're up against still the best team in the league. They're going to take it, and I think they'll take their chances really well. And I'm going to go Leicester win this game, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's a sending off.
Interesting. Well, I like the fact you've gone for a Leicester win, but for me, I just think City will be too strong. I don't know what it is, but Leicester's home form let them down last season. I think we can all agree with that. It was more City's away form that kind of let them down a little bit. But I know they obviously won the league, but they do lose some silly games now and then, Manchester City. And I think if they were to lose to Leicester, I think it would be a bit of a silly one. But I just look at the Manchester City team, minus Jesus, minus Ederson. Yes, I know Scott Carson will be in goal, but they've still got a lot of talent there. And I just think that the fact is that they are going to miss Ederson, and they are going to miss Jesus, who's like a new inverted winger, which is weird to say the very, very least. But I've gone 1-0 City. I think they will just sneak it as well. Now, apologies, I don't seem to have one for Manchester United Newcastle, which is mental. But Manchester United against Newcastle United, obviously Manchester United fans buoyed by the return of Viva Ronaldo. Will he start? Will he start on the bench? Who knows? But I've got to ask you this, because obviously you'll be missing Fred in this game. What do you make of this Brazil ban on the Premier League players? I think it's an absolute disgrace.
Well, I'm glad you asked that, because there's a number of players from a lot of teams are missing out. Rafinha for Leeds, Fabinho, Firmino, Alisson for Liverpool, Fred for Man United, although to some Man United fans they'll be happy that he's not available. Me, I just like the fact he's available as a squad player. I've never said he's an outright starter, and I believe that. But he gets so much shit, and I'm sick of commenting on it. I'm sick of commenting it. But in terms of just the Brazilian aspect, I love everything about Brazil when it comes to football, whether it's the flair in the game or the sheer ruggedness, like diving in, because there's some players who are Brazilian, but they think they're European footballers because they will get stuck in, and I love that. But I agree. I hate the fact that the Brazilian players have been ruled out, because it just, with football without Brazilian players, feels like naked in a way. Like it feels that bad, because Brazilians gave football the elegance that the game wanted over the years. Like they gave it everything that you enjoy about football, and that's what annoys me, is like they've been ruled out. To the fans who are happy about certain players not playing, then that's on them. It's personal agenda, or they just don't rate them. Me, I'm just, fair enough. Fred's not playing, and I'll take that in the right way. We've got other players in the squad, but it'd still be annoying that even if he doesn't play on Sunday, if you're a certain Man United fan who thinks we're playing on Sunday, but we're actually not. We are playing on Saturday. If you know what I'm talking about, there is a fan who thinks we are playing on Sunday, which is quite embarrassing. But in terms of just Saturday, I know he's not playing, but you just know whatever happens, whether a midfielder makes a perfect tackle or a midfielder makes a perfect pass, you just know there's going to be fans on Twitter going, "Oh, he can make that pass, but Fred can't." And I'm like, that's what annoys me. And I'm like, there's no need. Like, there's no need to slander your own players. Like, just chill out. But in terms of that, that's what I think about it. I'm just gutted that there's no Brazilian flair and there's no Brazilian elegance. When I don't know what gives the Brazilian FA the right to do this, but
No.
I can understand the fact is they're trying to prevent any issues because of the COVID situation. But they've taken it a bit too far. It should just be the players who were actually called up, not the players who were still in England, for example.
Yeah, and yet Richarlison gets exempt for his good relationship with the Brazilian FA. Like, it just smacks of desperation. I'm afraid, and it's obvious that they've spat their dummy out and they've complained to FIFA like a petty schoolchild would. But anyway, going back to Manchester United, Newcastle United, 4 wins to United, 1 win to Newcastle. Last meeting was a 3-1 win. How do you see this one going?
I've gone United to win 6-0.
6-0.
Yeah, I've actually gone us to batter them. And there's two sides to the coin. And the reason I've gone 6-0 is the last time we played them, when we won 3-1, we started that game really quickly, and we had that attacking dimension to the game. We just went at Newcastle, bang, bang, bang. But Newcastle still gave us a scare when they scored. But I'm thinking, if we start like that speed again, we start really quick, I think we could be 3 or 4-0 up by halftime. Which, to be fair, would be great, because at least in the second half, we can still score a couple of goals, add a little bit more to the goal difference, which is going to be important this year, especially with Man City and potentially Chelsea fighting at the top. We're going to need that. But I just look at it and I think if we don't start quick, I still think we would score about half that. I still think if we started slow, we would still put 3 past them. But I don't know if he's going to start on Saturday. But the Ronaldo factor gives us the attacking boost as well, where the attacking players that will be starting the game, if Ronaldo doesn't start, they will be expected to be at it because they know he will be taking their place. And that's why I think we're going to have a high scoring United performance, because of that Ronaldo factor of does he start, does he not? And the players will be on edge, expected to score. So that's why I have gone Man United to keep a clean sheet, a very back-to-back clean sheets as well, actually. And I've gone Man United to win 6-0. And if he does start, I'm going Ronaldo to add to that only one hat-trick that he scored against Newcastle, funnily enough. I'm going Ronaldo to score a hat-trick, Man United to win 6-0.
My goodness me. Well, I fully expect this to be a home banker. And I've gone 4-1 to Manchester United. I do think you'll win. But Newcastle always seem to grab a goal against you for some reason, especially Old Trafford, which is weird.
Yeah, it's it's like a necessity for Newcastle. Like, they've always got to bag the Old Trafford goal, like the Old Trafford goal, or it's like their birthright. Like they have to get a goal, otherwise it's not. They've got a big season ahead. I still don't think they're going to do as well as many people think, even though Steve Bruce got them high up in the league last year. I don't see them doing as well as they did last season. But this game, I honestly think they are going to get smashed. And I've got a lot of Newcastle friends that are genuine, sincere, but I haven't spoken. I may be speaking to a few of them on Friday night, well, tomorrow I should say, but I will be reiterating them the exact same scoreline, because I think they're going to get smashed, and I don't think many of them would actually argue because of how bad their squad is. I don't think many of them would argue with me.
I would agree. But yeah, apologies. I didn't seem to have a banner for that one, which is
it's
weird.
Okay.
The next one The next one is Southampton against West Ham. 4 wins to West Ham, 1 draw the last 5 meetings, 0-0 the last meeting between the sides. Have you been surprised by how well West Ham have started the season?
I have actually. I did have West Ham to get close to the top 6 as I did on our World of Football podcast predictions. I didn't say they would. I didn't think they would be top 6 again. I think I said it would be Spurs and Leicester. I think I had Spurs to finish 5th, and I think it was the other way. I think I had Spurs to finish 5th or 6th, and then Leicester would be in that bracket. But I think West Ham would finish 7th, something like that. But I didn't expect them to be flying so quickly. I thought they would grow into the season, but they've started. Excuse me, they've started really well, and credit where credit is due to David Moyes for getting this team playing the right way. I think many people owe David Moyes an apology, like in terms of, he just plays defensive football. Where's the evidence of this season that they played defensive football? They've actually been, they haven't just been attacking football, it's been balanced. It's had the defensive work that they are renowned for. They've made some smart signs in terms of Kurt Zouma at centre-back, which is going to help in terms of a pace factor, which is obviously they don't have that from like Diop, for example, or whoever else they play at centre-back. They don't have that. It gives them that advantage as well to play higher up. And I'm thinking that's going to benefit Declan Rice. It's going to benefit Thomas Souček because he loves to drive forward. And I just look at them and I think, if anyone thinks West Ham plays defensive football, I'd like for them to present the evidence because I don't see it. I think Arsenal play more defensive than West Ham. I think they are more defensive. And that's saying a lot because obviously we all know Arsenal aren't a defensive team, but they haven't attacked as much as West Ham have done. West Ham have been absolutely brilliant to watch. And if they keep this up, I'm not going to say top 4 contenders, but I think they may drop Leicester or Spurs out the top 6 if they keep playing like this. I think they might. I'm thinking because of how bad they've been to start the season, they haven't convinced me enough. I think it might be Leicester that gets knocked. It gets knocked out, and I know the likes of Ant and Chris who watch us, Neil. Neil, sorry, Neil's obviously because I'm thinking about the Man United quiz last night, which was absolutely electric. Neil and Chris watching this, they'll probably think, "Oh, you're just saying it because you want our players." No, you haven't. In the 3 games they've played, Leicester haven't convinced me yet. But it's hard to judge a team after 3 games, so I'm not going to say you are going to absolutely floor it. No, it's just pure and simple. You haven't started the league really well. But I wouldn't be surprised if Leicester turn things around. That's why I've backed them to beat Man City. But pure in this game, West Ham, they could get ahead of Spurs or Leicester in the top 6. They could. And that's why I've gone West Ham. And everyone knows I like Southampton. I like the manager. I like the style of football, but they're so depleted. And I'd be surprised if they got a draw. I'm going West Ham 3, Southampton 1.
3-1. I've gone 2-0. I think West Ham will be too strong for Southampton, and I think I fully expect Antonio and Benrahma to leave where they left off. This is an interesting game, this one, if my thing would work. Watford against Wolves. There's only been 4 meetings in the Premier League era. There's 2 wins apiece. Watford won the last one 2-1. I look at Watford, right? They played really well against Aston Villa. Against Brighton, they were terrible. Against Spurs, they were very, very unfortunate to get to not get anything out of that game. Wolves, I think they've had about 58 shots on target without obviously converting. They've not scored a single goal yet. Surely one of these games, Wolves are actually going to find their their shooting boots anyway. And I feel it could be this game, do you know? I've gone 2-1 Wolves because I just have a feeling that Wolves will get chances against this Watford side, and I've just got a feeling that they will sneak this one. I've gone 2-1 Wolves. What have you gone for?
I get where you're coming from completely. I think if I'm right in saying Watford's conversion rate from 58 shots is 0%. It is the worst in the league, I'm pretty sure.
Wolves,
which is absolutely shocking. And you can contribute all of that to Adama Traore as well, because the amount of shots he's had and he hasn't found the net is absolutely abysmal. I also agree that Wolves are going to score, but I don't think it's going to be a win. I've actually gone for a 1-1 draw. I think Wolves will score early, but I think Watford will score late. I think Watford will just nick it right at the end, because I look at that Wolves team. They've only conceded 1 goal per game in the 3 games.
Yeah.
But they cannot keep teams out. They just cannot seem to keep them out at the moment. And I'm thinking that's contributing a lot. And because of that, I think they will score. I think they'll get a little bit overconfident with that attacking system they play. They'll expand that defence more than how it usually is compact-wise. I think they'll expand it a bit too much. And I think someone will take advantage. I'm thinking it might be Dennis. It might be Sarr. They've got the pace behind them, very physical. And that's where I see it contributing. I think Sarr will link in really well with Dennis, and I think they will take an advantage of that. And that's why I've gone score draw 1-1.
Score draw. Very, very interesting. I think that one might actually divide opinion in the comments. Right, let's move on to Chelsea against Aston Villa. Josh, if obviously you are watching this. 3 wins to Chelsea, 1 win to Villa, 1 draw. Last meeting was a 1-1 draw. So Chelsea didn't actually beat Aston Villa last season. So that might be a bit of a burden on them. But I look at Chelsea, I look at this game, and Aston Villa don't have Buendia. They don't have Martinez. And I'm trying to remember who the actual sub-keeper for Villa is. And I knew it was Neuland, but I think he's on loan. I think he's on loan somewhere. So
I think so. I will check just now for you, in fact. I'll check just now. Based on
it could be a very interesting one, but for me, I just think Chelsea will be too strong. I think they'll bounce back from obviously the 1-1 draw at Anfield. No Reece James, of course, because obviously he was sent off. So you'd probably see like Chalobah possibly come in, and I think he's a very, very good player. But yeah, I've gone 2-0 Chelsea. I know they're fretting over a few people. I think Lukaku, Havertz. I think there was another one as well, Jorginho. There's a couple of players that they've actually got little niggles, little knocks as well. But I feel that Chelsea will be too strong. And Aston Villa, I worry for them without obviously Buendia and Martinez. I worry where their goals are going to come from.
I agree. I'm just looking, and from what I can see, there in terms of goalkeepers, they've got Jed Steer still.
Okay, so he'd probably come in then.
Possibly. They do have. I'm probably going to butcher his name, but if there's any Villa fans watching, they might be able to clear this if he's still at the club. Viljami Sinasolo. I've got no idea who he is.
Clue.
I have no idea who he is.
I've never heard of him.
But by the looks of it, there is a chance. But it looks like Dean Smith is going to give Jed Steer his first appearance. It'll be his first appearance since November 2019. He hasn't played in 2 years.
Wow.
Which is quite embarrassing. Another thing about Jed Steer is he's only got 98 career Premier League minutes. He's very inexperienced when it comes to Premier League. So it's literally over a game in 8 minutes of playing time. That's embarrassing, really. But yeah, this is an interesting one because I know a lot of people are going to favour Chelsea to win this one. I seem to be going on the opposite route of just favouring against the rivals, obviously, because I want all the rivals to lose. I'm stuck between what I put on your scores originally, and if do I want to stick with it or do I want to change it? But I am going to stick. I've actually gone for an away win. I think Chelsea may overcompensate what Villa actually have. I think they've got such a good team. Chelsea, they've got such a good team. And the only thing in my opinion, that would stop Chelsea losing this game is overconfidence and complacency.
Yeah.
And I think one of them is going to be the case. Tuchel's done a fantastic job with Chelsea. I think, obviously, me and yourself, we've got an affiliation for German football. We like German football. But we've always had a constant opinion on Thomas Tuchel. He's a good manager, but he has moments where he overthinks, he gets things out, and he does things a bit too crazy, and he gets it horribly wrong. He's done it at Dortmund. He's done it at PSG. He's yet to do it at Chelsea. From what I've seen so far, he's yet to do it at Chelsea, and I think it might catch him. And I think in this game something may or may not happen, which could afflict it. And I've actually gone Villa to score twice. I've actually gone Chelsea 1, Villa 2. And I'm going to put a lime on it. If he plays, I'm actually going Timo Werner to score.
Okay.
And put his good international form into Chelsea, prove his doubters wrong, prove all his haters wrong, because he's not the worst striker in the league, what people actually believe he's not. He's just not being managed properly. And I think Tuchel is going to get the best out of him. He just needs to be given a chance. And I've always liked him. I like Havertz. One of them settled really well. One of them scored important goals. The other works brilliantly off the ball. Brilliant pace that makes defenders irk. Even from a Liverpool fan. Like Werner as well. Like I said, Werner would be a massive threat against Liverpool. And he was. Like he was a massive threat against your defence because he tore them apart. He didn't score. But what he did do was he dragged your defence out, which allowed players to get in. And that's what he does, in my opinion, better than anybody in the league. He does it so well. And I think he deserves a bit more respect from Premier League fans.
Yeah.
So that's where I grounded. So I'm actually backing Werner to score in this game. And I think if Buendia is available, Leon Bailey, he might get a goal for Villa. So,
good point. Yeah,
I'm going to go Villa. I'm going to go Villa to nick it right at the end of a 2-1 win.
Very, very interesting. Josh will not like you for that one.
He will not like it. He will not like it.
To two sides who you probably don't give a monkey's about, but they clash at Elland Road. It is Leeds United against Liverpool. 3 wins to Liverpool, 2 draws, 1-1 the last meeting. And obviously everyone remembers the last meeting between these two sides. We didn't know if this was a pre-season friendly. We didn't know what league Liverpool were going to be in because of the European Super League uncertainty as well. I've gone for a 3-1 win to Liverpool. I feel that it'll be a tight game to begin with, but I just feel we've got a little bit too much class for Leeds United. And plus, Dan James is likely to make his Premier League debut for Leeds United. How do you see this one going?
I've actually raised you scoreline. I've actually gone 4-1 Liverpool. Yeah, I've gone. I hate these teams with a passion. You know me well. We're in a group chat. I slag them off all the time, but between me and you, it's always banter. But I hate both teams. But I've actually gone Liverpool to rinse Leeds. I think Liverpool are going to make too much work of them. I do agree. I think Dan James is going to start. I think this is the right level, right team for him. Right level in terms of. I never rated him as a Man United player. Just purely, he had games where he would come alive and he'd be really effective. But in other games, he just did not have enough to justify getting selected. And that's all it is. And I think he'll get better out of Bielsa because he'll be more of the front foot. The system suits him really well. And he can capitalise on the space that Leeds actually give off and create. And I think he will benefit more from that. And I think what makes it better for him is Jack Harrison is a Man City Academy graduate. And I think because of that, I think they will feed off each other really well in terms of rivalry perspective of the same position. Dan James signing from Man United, Jack Harrison signing from Man City. I think that's actually I think Bielsa will fire them up on that. Which one of you is actually the better player because you both came from rival clubs. Who is going to be the more effective player for me? And I think Bielsa knows how to spin that. So that's why I've gone. I think Dan James is going to start. And I actually think Dan James is going to score. I think Dan James is going to get the consolation goal. So I've gone Liverpool for the sake of they have the better team. I think Liverpool are going to take advantage. They'll score. Ideally, I would like both teams to draw because it would be good in the sense of I don't have to worry about Liverpool winning. I don't have to worry about Leeds fans piping up that they've done better, but nah, I just think overall in the end quality will prevail, and that's why I've gone Liverpool to win 4-1.
4-1. Wow, I will be so happy if that happens anyway. And the
I know
final
you
game
would.
final game is on Monday Night Football. It is Everton against Burnley. 2 wins apiece and 1 draw. The last meeting, Burnley actually won 2-1 at Goodison. So Burnley have got a pretty good record against Everton at Goodison and at Turf Moor, in fact, as well. But I look at this game and the way Everton have started the season, I just have a feeling that they're going to continue. Damari Gray started the season like a house on fire.
He
Dominic
has.
Calvert-Lewin has done well. I know you don't like him, Richarlison. He started the season really well as well. So I think Everton will win with a clean sheet, and I'm going to go for them to win 2-0.
I've also got the exact same scoreline, the exact same result. Everton to win 2-0. I don't like Richarlison purely because of his cocky attitude. It's just I think he's a good player, but he gets by so many massively overrated, and it's not hard to argue why really. But he's done well under Benitez so far. See where it goes. Damari Gray, it's been a very smart signing so far. I thought it wouldn't work, but it looks like it's started really well, and I think it might continue. I don't know how much longer for, because he did have moments at Leicester and Bayer Leverkusen where he started well, then he dropped off. I hope it's not right now, because it's against a team I personally don't like, and that is Burnley. I personally don't like Burnley for their style of play. It bores the living hell out of me. But I do agree with Burnley's recent record against Everton, and they do have a good record. But I think Everton will slowly start to change it, and I think they've got too much quality in there, and they've got a much more energetic younger squad, which Benitez seems to have actually understood a lot more than maybe Ancelotti did. And because of that, I think he's getting the best out of them. And I think the system change as well has been crucial. Changing it a
100%. 100%.
Changing a 4-4-1-1 or changing it a 4-4-2, playing Richarlison as a centre forward, not a striker, has actually worked really well. Playing him behind in a deeper role behind Calvert-Lewin has benefited massively. He's completely dropped the idea of a number 10, which Rafa Benitez has been renowned for. He's done really well with he's renowned for number 10s, and he's completely abandoned it. And I think that to me is like, why didn't you do this at Newcastle? You would still be in a job at Newcastle. And I'm thinking, because of that, I actually think that's going to do him a great deal instead. Richarlison playing a deeper role. He's quicker than Calvert-Lewin. Calvert-Lewin more physical, keep him further forward, let him bully that centre-back partnership of Tarkowski and Ben Mee, and just let Richarlison run through them. I think Richarlison's going to score twice. So I'm going Richarlison to be the goal scorer, and I'm going Richarlison to be the reason Everton win 2-0 against Burnley. I just don't see Burnley keeping them out.
I can honestly agree with you. So that is our match week number 4 predictions. It's so good to have the Premier League back as well. Josh, I hope I've done a very good job of obviously being in your absence as well. I've enjoyed this, and I hope everyone enjoys this, first of all. And secondly, leave your predictions in the comment section down below, and see if you can beat either me or Reece. But Reece, thank you very much for coming on as always as well. What have you got coming up soon?
I'm getting back into Twitch streaming. Finally, I've been calling it off for a while. I've not done a Twitch stream in a little while. Purely, I don't know why, but I've been here and aware on the channels I represent. I've obviously been on your channel. I've been on Rich Sports channel. I think I'm on there on Friday night. I think I'm on the Toon review as well. I need to speak to them, but I said I was available. I haven't heard anything from them, but I have said I'm available for the Toon review for the preview game with the Man United Newcastle, which is on Saturday. Weekly Armchair. I think I'm doing a channel on Friday. I think I'm doing the show on Friday night, the London Lowdown for the London clubs. So I'll probably be rinsing Arsenal again. No surprise. Yeah. But it's not a lot really. I don't want to be. I want to have a bit of a quieter week this week. I don't want to be too busy.
Yeah.
Which is good for me because I've just been run down with work and tired. That's problem because of the muggy weather. It's just conflicted to me just not being well.
Yeah.
But I'm getting back into my Twitch streaming, and I'm going to fly things forward. It's not going to be football this time. It might be something else. I just want to change things up a bit. But yeah, I'm going to be back on the Twitch, so that's even better.
Absolutely. Well, obviously go and follow Reece at all his channels as well. And yeah, Josh will be back next week, but I hope you all have enjoyed this. From me, myself, and Reece, we will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye for
Thanks,
now.
guys.